Are you looking for air-gapped storage for your crypto seeds and critical passwords? Today, we're testing every aspect of this 25 euro Seedkeeper smart card, including setup, backup procedures, inheritance planning, and whether it's secure enough for your most important secrets. If that sounds good, let's dive in. Hey, crypto people. Welcome back to the channel. With the rising value of digital assets, secure storage for your crypto seeds and critical passwords has never been more important. Today, we're diving deep into the Seedkeeper smart card from Sadochip, a Belgian hardware company whose other products are reviewed on a few other videos. You can check them out here. The Seedkeeper smart card from Sadochip is a specialized tool that promises air-gap security at a surprisingly affordable price point. In this comprehensive review, we're going to cover complete setup and usage guides, security features and certifications, practical backup strategies, inheritance planning considerations, and whether this 25 euro device deserves a place in your security setup. So let's get into it. The Seedkeeper is a smart card designed to keep your most valuable secrets offline. But before we get into the details, let's be clear on what this device is and what it isn't. It is a hardware security device for mission-critical passwords and seed phrases. It's an air-gapped security solution. It's also an EAL6 Plus certified smart card, sort of like your credit cards, but it only has a total of 4 kilobytes, not megabytes, not gigabytes, of storage on the card. What the Seedkeeper isn't is a complete password manager replacement, and it's really not designed for passwords that change frequently. And it's definitely not a complete seed phrase security solution by itself. It really should be part of a broader strategy and not necessarily your only backup. Before we get to the demo, let's look at what you need to get started with the Seedkeeper. You need a compatible device with NFC capabilities and the Seedkeeper application installed, which is available on the iOS App Store, and I believe it's available on the Google Play Store. If not, it is available. The Android version is available on their GitHub page. You need a basic understanding of PIN security, and you need to have a list of the secrets that you want to store on the card. We'll cover all these aspects in detail as we go through the review, but it's important to understand that this is a specialized tool designed for specific security needs. Let's head over to their brand new website at seedkeeper.io and check it out. Okay, here we are at seedkeeper.io. And this website is brand new, so you might see a few inconsistencies. I'm sure they'll be ironing out any of those in the near future. But let's just take a look around. So we have links here for the applications on Google Play Store and the App Store. A cute little image right here that floats around. And step 1, for who is this? Remember, this is a Belgian company and French is their first language, so you'll see some of these English inconsistencies. This really should say, who is this for? If you were English first, but whatever. This is for new generation, investors, influencers, oh, that's me, and people who are helping with retirement planning. With some links to buy the card. Step 2, why choose Sadokeeper? Some information on that. There's a video here that I've watched. It's a neat little review of the function of the card. Effortless setup. You initialize, you generate passwords and seed phrases, and you can import. We'll go through all that on the card. Here's a clear overview on the main screen, and strong passwords for everyday life. It can generate strong passwords inside the application. I'll show you how to do that. You can import existing secrets, and there's also an application available on the desktop. But in order to take advantage of that, you need a smart card reader. I happen to have one right here. I'll leave a link for it. It's super cheap on Amazon. I can't remember how much it costs. That's how cheap it was, actually. And you can use that for the desktop application. Okay, and if there's anything else, and subscribe to their newsletter to receive updates. They also have available for download this PDF that goes through the functionality of the application in more detail, step by step. It's really well done, and I love the colors and theme. Oh, by the way, this little thing right here that pops up from the bottom of the screen and then alerts you to scan the card, that's actually called a toast. I'm not sure if it says it up here. Sort of like toast popping up out of the toaster. Yeah, it's cute. I didn't know it was called toast, but that thing is called Toast. Let's go ahead, download the application from the App Store, install it, and I'll meet you there. Okay, here we are at my iPhone, and we have two applications on the screen here. One of them, the one on the left, is for the Sado Dime application and card, which I have right here. And the other one, the white one, is for the Seedkeeper application, which is what we're going to be working with today. So let's go ahead and launch that. There we go. All right, this is the welcome screen. I have not initialized the card, I don't think. And we're going to go through the initialization. First, we'll walk through a couple of these welcome screens here. It says Seedkeeper lets you easily generate, import, and export a variety of crypto-related secrets. Your seed phrases managed. Don't write your seed phrases on a piece of paper anymore. See my thumbnail. We offer you advanced hardware solution to store them properly. To use it, put the card on top of your phone when prompted and keep it on the reader throughout the operation. They have links here for a tutorial video and more information. I'm going to press start at the bottom, and we're greeted with a very blank screen, which is great because that keeps the confusion down. If you don't own one of these cards, you can click the link at the bottom. It'll take you to the website where you can purchase some. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a 3-button menu icon. If I click that, I can get more information about the application, but I can't get information on the card because it's not scanned yet. I can believe I can make a backup from the screen. Nope, can't do that yet. We'll go through that in a minute. If I click on the settings, it takes me to this area. I can factory reset the card from here. Okay, let's go ahead and back to the beginning. Let's initialize the card. And I think this card is not initialized. So it's telling us to enter a PIN code. I'm going to do that in here. Then I'm going to scan the card. I'm going to re-enter the PIN code, and it's ready to go. That was it. Now, the PIN code has to be from anywhere from 4 to 16 digits. I would use a 16-digit PIN code. Obviously, that's much more difficult to remember, but it can be letters, numbers, and even special characters. So very high level of security for the PIN. If you enter the wrong PIN more than, I believe it's 4 times, the card wipes itself and you can't access it. Now, I don't know if the card is dead forever and that crypto is gone, or if it locks itself for a certain period of time. I'm not sure about that, actually. I should look into that. Let's go ahead and press the click and scan button and enter the application or enter our PIN code we just set, scan the card, and we're in. Okay, this is the main screen. You would have a list of secrets or passphrases or seed phrases or whatever you're storing in here. Let's take a look around. In the upper right corner, again, we have access to the card information, which now we can see has more information accessible to us. In here, we can change the PIN. We can verify that the card is genuine. We can verify its authentic key, and we can show logs on the card. Also, very important, right in this area, it shows us that there is 4,093 bytes available of space. So essentially 4 kilobytes of memory available. And that decreases as you add secrets depending on their complexity. I'm going to change the card label. We'll call it Seedkeeper. Scan the card. Bang. We now have a name for our card. I'm going to go back to the main screen. And let's go ahead and put some secrets on this card. We can generate a secret or we can import a secret. I'm going to generate a password. Let's call it, for instance, let's say you use a password manager. What do you do with the password for the password manager? Most people keep it in their heads, but what would happen if you got hurt or had a stroke or a brain injury and your family wanted to get into the password manager to get a hold of all your assets and take care of your business, and you couldn't give it to them? This is where you put it. So we're going to say one password. This is our main password. Login, you can put whatever you want here. I don't know what these are. You can add the URL if you like, and you're going to generate a password here. Obviously, you can import one as well, but we're going to generate a 16-digit password. We're going to be using small letters, capitals, numbers, and special characters, and generate. And that is our 16-digit password. Wow, that is complicated. I can regenerate it if I don't like the looks of it. I can hide it. I can copy it. And then there's a button here that displays a QR code for that password. You can see the QR code changing if you do that. All right, right up here in the center of the screen is a button that says easy to read. I didn't know what that was. I thought it just eliminated special characters, but it doesn't. It actually changes the password to a passphrase. And I wish the developers would make that more clear. It should say passphrase next to that selector button. I'm going to click that and it says 6. Well, is that six characters? No, it's 6 words. So if I go down here to regenerate, now we've got a 6-word password, which is an even higher level of security than a 16-digit passphrase. Obviously, it's many more digits than 16. And you can change the slider up here to include more words or fewer words, whatever you want to do. Let's say we want to go with that. We press import, and we're going to save that to the card by scanning, and now done. There's our 1Password password in case something would happen to us, or just for safekeeping. And you don't change the main password to your password manager very often. This is a great place to store it. Some other things we can do with this application is we can import a secret. Actually, let's stick with generate. The other thing we can generate is a mnemonic, a seed phrase for a cold wallet or a hot wallet or something that where we're going to store crypto. We can label it Trezor, and we can either generate 12, 18, or 24 word seed phrase. I'm going to stick with 12. We can add a passphrase as well. I'm going to add a passphrase and wallet descriptor. In this section, you could put something like an XPub or a descriptor of where you store the wallet or something like that. I'm going to skip it. I'm going to go down to the bottom, press generate, and there is our 12-word seed phrase. I'm going to import it to the card, and now it's on the card. There you go, Trezor. And you can see the little icon on the left side of each one designates what type of secret it is. Let's go ahead and press plus. We went through the generate password and generate mnemonic. Now we're going to go through the imports. We can import a password with the label, a login, destination, for instance, a website or some important place where you store family photos, or Google Drive or Gmail or whatever you want to do. And we can import a mnemonic, including a passphrase with a wallet descriptor as well. We can import a descriptor. Now, this is really important. If you create or are part of a multi-sig wallet, in order to restore the wallet, if you should lose your seed phrase, you need to have the XPubs. So let's say it's a 2 of 3 multi-sig wallet. That is, 2 of the keys are required to sign transactions, and there are 3 keys total in the wallet. Along with each key is an XPub. Those XPubs are absolutely required in order to restore the wallet to any interface, along with 2 of the 3 keys. So don't think you just need 2 keys. You need 2 keys of the 3 and all of the XPubs. Well, this descriptor section right here is where you would keep the XPubs or the wallet descriptor for the multi-sig wallet, or any wallet you want. You can save the XPubs and the derivation path or the master fingerprint or whatever you want to put in this area. So it's sort of a general cryptocurrency storage area. And at the bottom is just random data. So you want to say gold. Let's say you own some gold and it's in a safe, and the safe's combination is safe combo 234788. I don't know if that's combination, but it sounds like one. And then you import it onto your card, scan the card, and there you go. Now your gold secret is on here. So that's how you add secrets to the card. One other thing I wanted to show you in the settings area is in the card information, you can see that the available memory is now 4,093 bytes. I don't remember exactly what it was before, but maybe a little more. So those 3 secrets, it gives you the name or the number of the secrets stored on the card. Did take up a little bit of memory, but you can sort of imagine that if the secret information is small, you can store a lot of secrets. I've had 25 on this card, and then I erased it, and some of them were really big. As a matter of fact, they were an entire PDF. Not the PDF, but the words in the PDF I copied and pasted into the application. So let's go back to the main screen again. So how do you go about deleting or changing a secret if something should change? Well, let's say you change your main password to your password manager. You can go in here and guess what? There's no way to change it. You can reveal the secret. Whoops. It's important to keep the card motionless. Here we go. And here it reveals the secret to the 1Password application. Now, I can't type in this area. I'm pressing the area. There's no way to type it. I can only delete it and then re-enter another password. So I'm going to do that. It gives me a warning. this process is irreversible, check the box to proceed. I'm going to delete, and 1Password secret is gone. Okay, so you can delete them one by one, but you can't change them once they're on here. And if you want to go nuclear, you go into the settings area and you can factory reset the card by pressing that red button at the bottom. Check this box to proceed. Then you scan the card 5 times in a row and it is factory reset. We're not going to do that right now. Now, what I'm going to show you is a special feature that makes this card an integral part of potential inheritance planning. That is the ability to create backups or clones of this card using this application. Of course, you need more than one card. So I have a second one right here. I'm going to open that and then we're going to start cloning this card or making a backup. Okay, I have the original card. Yes, the original card and the new card. And they're very difficult to tell apart, so don't mix them up. But this is the original. I'm going to make a backup copy of this using my new card. And I go into the 3-button area in the upper right and I click Make a Backup button. And in here it says, in order to make a backup of your Seedkeeper card, MasterCard to another one, you'll first need to pair the backup card. Start the backup process and follow the wizard. So let's start. Please prepare your backup card and click Next. So I'm going to click Next, enter the PIN code, scan my backup card. Good. Confirm the PIN code again. Now, I'm not sure if you can enter a different PIN code for the backup card. Actually, I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to back out of this. I'm going to press Next again. I'm going to enter a different PIN code and see what happens. I don't think it's going to work. Confirm, scan my backup card, enter my code again, confirm, scan my backup card. I'm going to scan my backup card one more time. That's my new PIN. Okay, the backup card is set. Now that my backup card has been paired, please scan my Seedkeeper card. I'm going to scan, and it says you're now ready to copy the content of this card to your backup card using encrypted communication. The number of secrets to backup, there are only 2. Make the backup, press Next, and there we go. That was my backup card. That's it. That is super cool. I actually didn't know that you could use a different password on each backup card, or different PIN, on each backup card. That is really neat. Now, for inheritance purposes, it might make more sense to use the same PIN on each card, but I'm going to cover that in a different video. So stay tuned, please. Oh, don't forget to subscribe as well. Okay, let's get back into the application. One last review. Whoops. I think I entered the wrong PIN there. There we go. Okay. We're back into the card, and I don't know why it adds this authenticate here. I'm going to delete that. I'm not sure why it does that. I think that's a card identifier so you can tell card from card when there's a backup. I'm going to delete that identifier, and the authenticate is still available on this page. Okay. Did I miss anything? I think I got everything. That is the Seedkeeper's functionality. Now, for inheritance planning considerations, you need to keep a few things in mind. You need to consider creating multiple backups that you would distribute to various heirs or family members. You need to store the PIN securely with estate planning documents, with an attorney, or with a digital delivery service, which I'll talk about in another video. You need to include access instructions for the card so that people who aren't so technically savvy can get into the card. You also need to test your backup cards periodically, make sure that they function. And you could consider a geographic distribution of the cards so they're not all in one place. And some other notes to keep in mind is that each backup still has the same 4 kilobyte limit on it. The backup cards don't change in size. Of course, they're just a clone of the original card. You can't selectively back up certain phrases or secrets. It's all or nothing. It's just a copy of the card. And both cards must have the same firmware installed on them. These are all purchased at the same time. Well, actually, the company was nice enough to send these to me, so I didn't purchase them, but they're awesome. So now I'm going to give you some best practices and security tips to get the most out of your Seedkeeper card. Now, it's really easy to get confused as to what's what when you have these cards. So label everything appropriately and make sure that those labels stick. Or if you draw on the card, make sure that you use a more permanent labeling technique. And keep track of the amount of storage space on the cards. They do have a small amount of storage space, but it holds a surprising number of secrets. As far as security goes, you can generate your seed phrases that you store on the card offline and then enter them into the application, but please avoid copying and pasting the seed into the application because on iOS and other operating systems, copied data is available across the system, as are screenshots are available, your photos are available and shared across multiple applications. And so is the clipboard. So keep sensitive data out of the clipboard. You can type it in because each of the applications are operating in their own little sandbox, it's called, and they have encrypted walls around the application. No applications can get into other applications' databases, if that makes sense. If you're going to generate a password, use the maximum password length available, 16 digits. I actually prefer 32 digits, but right now they don't have that capability. Note to developer, just stretch that up to 32 digits and the password generation capabilities or security would be dramatically increased. Store your backup cards in different locations from each other so that people don't have access to everything you have backed up all at once if they should find them. Consider implementing regular backup verification intervals where you test the function of the cards, and consider the Seedkeeper as just one part of your overall security operations procedures, not your only backup solution. At least that's my recommendation. So when you're using the iOS app, avoid copying sensitive data to the clipboard, avoid screenshotting sensitive data, and know that iOS keeps each app in its own secure container, preventing other apps from accessing the Seedkeeper's data. Some common pitfalls to avoid when using the Seedkeeper: you might not want to save passwords that you change frequently because if you forget to change it on the Seedkeeper, then the data on here, if you should have a medical emergency or pass away suddenly, is not up to date and people are trying to access areas that they can't get into because you didn't update the card. This is why the Seedkeeper is not a set it and forget it type of system. And when you're scanning the NFC card, you could see I made a few mistakes with that. If you move the card when you hold it against the back of your phone, it won't scan properly. So you have to hold it really still. So how does the Seedkeeper stack up against other hardware security solutions? Some other NFC cards that come to mind are the One Key Lite NFC storage card, seed storage card, the Sado chip hardware wallet card, the Tangem NFC card, and the Tap Signer NFC seed phase storage card. The Tap Signer, the Tangem, and the Sado chip are all what are called blind signing devices. They store a single seed phrase, while the Seedkeeper is designed to store multiple seed phrases, but it doesn't have signing capabilities. You can't sign a transaction, a crypto transaction, with the Seedkeeper card like you can with the Sado chip. The One Key Lite is limited to storing only one seed phrase and only works with the One Key application on your phone. By the way, I've done videos on all 4 of these cards. You can check them out on my channel. The Seedkeeper fills a unique niche as a dedicated multi-secret storage device rather than trying to be a signing device. And it's much more versatile than these other cards because it stores various types of data, not just seed phrases. You can store passwords, wallet descriptors, and just regular chunks of important data. After thorough testing, here are the standout features of the Seedkeeper. It has EAL 6+ security certification, whereas EAL 7 is the highest level of security that you can achieve. EAL 6+ is extreme levels of security. It has a simple and reliable backup process, very strong PIN protection capabilities, comprehensive cross-platform support with desktop applications and mobile applications. It has seamless device compatibility, and I haven't mentioned, all of this is open source. The application that I run on the iOS device is open source, and the application that runs in the Seedkeeper chip is open source application. Everything is available for verification right on their GitHub page. However, there are some limitations to consider. Like I mentioned, the password generation is capped at 16 characters, which is pretty secure. I prefer 32 characters if it was available, but you could always generate a password off the card and then simply import it, but you have to type it in. Well, you can copy and paste it, but there are some risks associated with that. Stored secrets can't be modified, only deleted and replaced. There's only 4 kilobytes of storage capacity, but it does hold a surprising number of secrets. The NFC capabilities are limited to the official application alone. Like a lot of their other products, the Sato Dime and the Sato Chip, none of them have off-app capabilities. And again, another note to the developers, please provide some off-application capabilities through the NFC functionality. That is, when you scan the card just on your phone, it should tell you what to do or what application to download or give you a link or just give you some more information, because it seems like the card is dead outside of the application. And there's no way to test the card for viability without entering a PIN. I wish there was a way to check the card's security levels and viability without entering a PIN, and that would really help with inheritance planning. And it relies on a proprietary application on your phone. That is, the card does not work with any other application other than the Seedkeeper application specifically. That means if you don't have access to the Seedkeeper application, you potentially don't have access to the secrets. But like I said, they're all open source, so they can be rebuilt. Even if the company ceases to exist, the GitHub page will stay up and you can rebuild the application and access the secrets on the card. Not an easy task, but possible. The desktop application is simply an extension of the Sato Chip desktop application that I showed in a previous video, and the same criticisms apply. The font is way too light. I know they are working on it, but it has the same functionality as the mobile application, just for a desktop, but you do need a card scanner to function. If you're concerned about seed phrase generation on an internet-connected device, those concerns are valid. That is, when you generate a seed phrase using the iOS app, of course, the device is connected to the internet. Now you can disconnect data, put it on airplane mode, and turn off the Wi-Fi, generate the seed, and then nothing will be sent if you're really paranoid. But know that the application operates in an isolated sandbox. As long as you don't copy and paste that seed, it should be secure. And it doesn't stay in the application. Once you move it to the card, it's gone. And for 25 euros, I think this is an outstanding security value. At this price point, the Seedkeeper is an excellent choice for users needing air-gap security for critical secrets, crypto users wanting offline seed phrase storage, and anyone with high-value data that changes rather infrequently. The Seedkeeper might not be for you if you have to store a lot of data, given its 4 kilobyte limit. In addition, if you frequently update your credentials and need instant syncing, this is not the device for you. If you're not willing to manually review and update your saved information periodically, and you want a set it and forget it solution, you might need to look elsewhere. In conclusion, the Seedkeeper is a specialized tool that does one thing well: storing critical secrets in an air-gapped environment. While it has its issues and a few UI enhancements that it could benefit from, at just 25 euros, it's an incredible addition to your security setup. Remember, my suggestion is that this is just a part of your crypto security solution, not your only solution. Speaking of backup strategy, consider following the time-tested 3-2-1 rule. That is, maintain 3 copies of your critical data on 2 different types of media and 1 copy stored off-site. The Seedkeeper can absolutely be part of this strategy. For example, you might have your seed phrases recorded on steel plates, have them copied onto Seedkeeper cards, and have a backup Seedkeeper card in a safe-to-deposit box. For the price of a few coffees at Starbucks, you're getting EAL 6+ certified hardware security that could protect your most valuable digital assets. Just don't expect this to replace your day-to-day password manager. That's not what this is, or serve as your only seed phrase backup. Why don't you let me know what you think of the Seedkeeper down in the comments below? Also, without revealing too much, let me know what kind of seed phrase storage solutions that you think are really good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.